Think about someone you knew 5 years ago who slowly faded out of your life. Or maybe, look at yourself. You didn't get into a massive argument. The group chat mentions simply dwindled, and the weekend invitations stopped. You became quieter and stepped away from the crowd. Society typically diagnoses this quiet withdrawal as arrogance. People assume that stepping back means you think you are better than everyone else in the room. Psychology frames this behavior as a biological necessity. It is a protective measure rather than a character flaw or a lack of warmth. Highly aware people retreat because their minds process the world with such intensity that ordinary social life becomes quietly exhausting. To understand this disappearance, we have to view human interaction through a specific framework, the economics of mental energy. This gauge represents your cognitive capacity. Human attention, emotional bandwidth, and inner peace are finite currencies. They are limited resources that cannot be spent freely without consequence. For a highly active mind, a standard dinner party or a casual meetup requires an extraordinarily expensive exchange of this cognitive currency. The slow disappearance of intelligent people is an act of financial self-preservation designed to avoid complete mental bankruptcy. We can begin the cognitive audit with the predictive tax. During any standard event, the intelligent brain operates as a hyperactive prediction machine. You accurately predict conversational patterns, work-related complaints, and specific jokes long before the words even leave someone's mouth. Predicting every outcome turns social novelty into exhausting repetition. When a conversation loses the element of surprise, the brain loses interest in the loop. Next is the subtext drain. Standard processing treats small talk as a simple safety check, but an intelligent mind simultaneously tracks tone, subtext, and avoided topics. This rapidly overflows working memory, stalling the mental workspace. Leaving a social event early is the direct result of running a massive mental program on standard social hardware until the battery is completely drained. There is a physical toll to these interactions as well, driven by a mechanism called emotional contagion. Highly aware individuals physically absorb the emotional states of those around them. By reading subtle facial shifts like street signs, your body borrows the anxiety of a stressed friend or the tension behind a forced smile. This creates a hidden cost. You return home carrying multiple emotional states that were never yours to begin with, requiring a full day of silent recovery after a single evening. The final expense involves the looking glass effect, specifically within old circles of friends. Old social groups often force you to suppress your current growth. You perform an outdated version of your identity just to keep the group comfortable, drifting away as a silent move toward authenticity. The combined costs of predicting patterns, tracking subtext, carrying foreign emotions, and performing a past self make ordinary socializing an unsustainable economic loss. To be blunt, intelligent people disappear because they finally recognize the high price of their attention and peace. Once you know the cost, you stop spending your mental currency carelessly. You seal the vault to protect what remains. However, this requires a crucial psychological audit. You must examine your own motives for stepping back. Withdrawing to protect precious energy is healthy self-care. Retreating because vulnerability feels too risky is simply fear wearing a smart costume. You have to identify which of those two psychological drivers is currently steering your choice to isolate. If you are withdrawing for the right reasons, you are moving toward a different status being. There is a sharp contrast between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is a painful deficit, the ache for connection. Solitude is an intentional surplus, choosing to be alone with your own mind and finding it to be excellent company. You did not leave to be alone forever. You are simply staying charged for that one rare, authentic conversation where you finally don't have to translate yourself.